Good morning, young ladies. To begin with, we will focus on a very important skill, which is writing. As you were informed previously, this semester we need to cover two types of writing. They are: the first one is informative writing, and the second one is interactive writing. Well, today we will focus on the first type, which is informative writing. For this type of writing, you will be given a title, topic, or question that you'll need to respond to by giving factual information, whether personal or general. With factual information, we mean the facts and true details or information about a topic. And it is definitely not the ideas, feelings, or opinion about that topic. So please remember not to write about your beliefs, your opinion, your thoughts in this type of writing. An informative piece of writing has similar layout to many other types of writing. It should consist of an introduction, body, and conclusion. Also, remember giving it a title, as this will add credit to your work. Many students tend to focus on the body of their pieces of writings, as they are the parts through which they present the facts and true details or information about their topics. Yet, similar attention should be given to their introductions and conclusions. That is because introductions and conclusions are important components of any piece of writing. They work to bookend the body paragraphs by first explaining what points will be made, and that is in the introduction, and then by summarizing what points were made in the conclusion. We will look at each section at a time. So let's look at the first part, which is your introductions. An introduction is typically the first paragraph of your paper. The goal of your introduction is to let your reader know what he or she can expect from your paper. While there is no one right way of writing a good introduction, in general, an introduction should do the following.
Wow, I would definitely love to read this.
So, as you can guess, an introduction should start by attracting the reader's attention. You need to begin your introduction with a hook that grabs your reader's attention and introduces the general topic. Therefore, I've asked 3 people to give me possible hooks on the topic being a flu fighter. Those 3 people are Aisha, Maryam, and Zamzam. Aisha wrote,
"The flu is very unpredictable when it begins and in how it takes off," by Harvey Feinberg.
Lovely, Aisha. One way of grabbing your reader's attention is by stating an interesting fact, showing related statistics, or quoting someone else's words about your topic, just like what Aisha did. When it comes to Maryam, she wrote,
"Have you had flu recently? Do you feel that you are the kind of a person who always gets sick with flu?"
Excellent, Maryam. Asking rhetorical questions, which are questions asked in order to produce an effect on the reader rather than to elicit information, is a wonderful technique to grab the attention of your readers. As for Zamzam, she wrote,
"Many people think that there is no use of protecting themselves from getting sick with flu."
Amazing, Zamzam. Revealing a common misconception about the topic will definitely grab the reader's attention. Those were only a few ways that can help you in grabbing your reader's attention. And now, let's move to the second part of your introduction. Ms. Reader and Aisha can help us with this part.
Aisha, could you please read me the second part in your introduction of the paper, Being a Flu Fighter?
Seasonal flu is so annoying and can prevent a person from being as active as usual. But there are some tips that a person can follow to protect himself or herself from the flu virus.
Aha! Now I understand what this paper is about. It is an important topic indeed.
This leads us to the conclusion that after you hook your readers in your first part, you should write a sentence or two about the specific focus of your paper. This part of the introduction can include a background information on the topic that you are handling. So what about the third part of the introduction? Ms. Reader, could you please help us with that?
Definitely. I really love Aisha's last part. Aisha, could you please be kind enough as to read it to our listeners?
In this paper, I will bring to light 4 tips that can help you in becoming a flu fighter. I will also explain the importance of each of those tips in detail.
Wonderful, Aisha. That's really very specific and right to the point.
That's great. So your thesis needs to be specific. It needs to include the points of discussion that you will include in your paper. This way, you will make sure that your readers can follow you easily when reading your paper. So these are the 3 main parts of an introduction. Moving to the next section, which is the main body, an average body should consist between 3 to 4 main points. Additionally, there are 4 main features that a good body paragraph should consist of. Number 1, a good topic sentence. Number 2, clear effective transition. Number 3, clear specific points. And number 4, good supporting details. In order to understand those 4 features, let's listen to Aisha reading the first part of her body.
There are many tips that can help you become effective flu fighters. To begin with, you need to wash your hands more often. That is because washing hands well helps in killing germs and viruses. Additionally, blah blah blah.
Well done, Aisha. A topic sentence is the first sentence of a paragraph that the whole paragraph revolves around. Aisha's first sentence summarizes the whole idea of the paragraph. So we know from the first sentence that the whole paragraph will give us some tips on how to become flu fighters. The second feature is clear effective transition, which means to help your readers to make relationships between your ideas. We use transition words to help us achieve that. So, in the case of Aisha's paragraph, we can see some transition words like to begin with, that is because, additionally, and so on and so forth. Here are some more transition words that can help you when you are doing your writings. The third feature is to give clear specific points. This is shown in Aisha's sentence, you need to wash your hands more often. We can also say, you should wash your hands more often because we are giving a piece of an advice. The fourth feature is to give good supporting details to each of the points that you have mentioned. This is clearly shown when Aisha explains her point of washing hands more often by saying that washing hands will help in killing germs and viruses. So please, when writing your body paragraphs, put these features in mind because they will make your paragraphs really strong. And now, let's move to the last section, which is your conclusions. At this point, all what I want you to know about conclusions is that a conclusion works to remind your reader of the main points of your paper, and it summarizes what you want your reader to take away from your discussion. It is always wise to start your conclusion with phrases like in conclusion, in summary, and so on and so forth. When it comes to Aisha, she wrote for her conclusion,
In conclusion, the presented tips can help in making you a flu fighter. These tips include washing your hands, blah, blah, and blah.
That's beautiful, Aisha. Lovely. Thanks for being with us today. Thank you, Ms. Reader, and thanks also to Mariam and Zemzem. We will end this video with such an interesting image on the features of informative writing. Have a lovely day. Shada Al-Khalili.